Hello everyone, I'm FARMERSIM. Welcome back to the Calmsden Chronicles here on Calmsden Farm. Hope you're all doing very well and having a wonderful day. So, you join me, 10:15 in the morning. I'm out in what was the oat field, just running the cultivator, getting rid of the plethora of weeds that we have. Still left over on our left there, but yeah, we'll get rid of them ASAP. Doing a half decent job, I suppose. I am running courseplay at the minute, just so I can concentrate on talking and not having to drive at the same time. Oh, it's missed a couple of tiny spots there. There's one there, and there's I think I saw one before at the top of the field there, but we'll catch those when the job's done. So, the focus of today's episode is field prep. Obviously, as a result of the last episode, we cultivated the big field that with the custom field 5 and 6 on the other side of the lane over there. So that's now ready to receive a coat of lime, as is field 4 on the other side of the lane to the north of the map there. If I jump into the map PDA, it's probably going to be a bit more straightforward for me to show you. So, where are we? Let's zoom out a bit here. So, yeah, field 5 and 6 is now ready to receive some lime. Field 4 is ready for a coat of lime. There we go. That's where we are. And the field we are currently working in here needs a coat of lime as well. But thankfully, and this is a point I hadn't actually picked up on, the big double field here, as you can see, the field 6 part of this big double field doesn't actually need lime, so that's a big saving. I'm very grateful for that. But what it does mean is that I'm going to essentially have to do this bit manually, because Courseplay now recognises this whole thing as one big field. So I'll be doing this half. Well, it's less than half in it, but I'll be doing this bit manually. We're not necessarily going to lime field 7 yet, because that's still got that's still a field of grass that is ready to harvest. So we're not going to throw lime on top of that just yet. We'll wait till we've got the grass out of this field and then lime it afterwards. But because of the events of the last episode, now that we have got almost 1 million litres of silage in a couple of different forms, we've got the 2 bunkers, as you well know, collectively coming up to just north of 700,000 litres. We've got 280,000 litres of wrapped bale silage in the bale shed. So we're kind of all right for silage at the minute. So with that in mind, it has kind of slightly changed my approach as to what I'm going to do. Essentially, if we divide my farm here across the middle here using this lane here, so what I'm going to do eventually is I think I'm going to keep this entire north side of the farm, these 3 fields, I'm going to keep these as arable. Once we've got the grass out of here and tedded it for hay and baled it up, I'm going to essentially keep this north side as arable, and then this south side, which consists of field 17 here, which is a field of grass that's ready to cut, field 10 here that we're currently in, and this field 21 here. As those of you who saw the first episode know that I've got a bit of a custom field going on here, so I deleted this wall. We've got a perimeter fence along the lane here, and this is essentially one. It's nowhere near as big as the others, of course, but it's a field of grass nonetheless. It's currently a meadow grass, but we'll be drilling that and sorting out and turning it into a proper field of grass. So essentially these 3 fields eventually will be our this will be our grass, and the north here, these 3 fields will be our arable. I'm going to pop some linseed into this big double field here, and then we can put wheat and barley into these 2 here eventually. But what I have actually done, because of the quantity of grass that we've now got as a result of the grass work contract we did in the last episode, I'm not actually going to do that again, by the way, just so you're aware. When it comes to the grass, taking grass from a mowing contract, I'm not going to do that again. I'm going to essentially, if I do another mowing contract, we'll just be doing the mowing. We won't be necessarily taking the grass as well. When it comes to harvesting contracts, I'm happy to take the straw, of course, but I think it has given us a massive benefit and a big leg up, as it were. But I suppose, trying to look at it from both sides of things, it is a little bit cheaty, I suppose. You know, if a farmer employed me to mow their grass, he's not going to want me to steal his grass afterwards, is he? So I suppose, you know, thinking about it, maybe it was a bit naughty, but hey, it is what it is. We've got where we've got to. But yeah, I don't think I'm going to do that again, just to try and keep things remotely, I don't know, legal. So anyway, right, like I say, so we're going to be jumping in the Massey, and we're going to hook up the lime spreader eventually and start getting some lime spread into those 2 fields, and go from there. Now, one thing I have actually done, again, as a result of the sheer quantity of silage that we've now got fermenting away, and offering that up against the speed and time that it takes the cow barn to work the silage, what I've actually done is, this is a base game cow barn, by the way, the one I've got on the farm there in front of us, the Lely Vector cow barn. I've actually edited the XML to increase the capacity of the 3 quantities of product that it takes to make total mixed ration, or the 4 including the mineral feed as well. By default it takes 49,000 litres of straw, 49,000 litres of hay and 115,000 litres of silage. Now collectively what we've got in our barn over there, we've got quite a bit more than that, and I very much like to not get bottlenecked by sheer quantities of stuff and not being able to move it and not being able to free up the bunker in the near future. So I've increased the capacity of those 3 products to 1 million litres in that cow barn, just so that I can essentially, when the bunkers are fermented, when the bales are fermented, I can take them all out of where they are, put it all into the cow barn, do the same with the straw, the same with the hay, and then it frees up space on the farm for future work. It means I can put more straw into the, in bale form, into the cow barn, into the bale barn, sorry, and the same with silage, the same with, you see where I'm going with this. I've just, like I say, just to free things up and give myself a fighting chance of not being bottlenecked by having too much product and nowhere to put it. So that's what I've done with that one. So anyway, right, let's crack on with this. I'll get this job finished. Clearly the Fendt and the cultivator are going to need a bit of a wash. Now field 4, again just jumping into the map PDA very quickly to show you what I'm referring to. Field 4 here is an empty field. It's currently in a ploughed state. Now our Bednar seeder is a direct drill. So again another small factor that I'd missed, that my brain had missed very briefly, is the fact that the Bednar is a direct drill. So I don't need to run the cultivator in this field to get the seed drilled. So that's again, one job less to have to do. It's a good saving. Obviously you don't need to spend money on fuel and wear on the machinery, etc. So that's very handy. But yeah, we will obviously still need to spread the lime, of course, which we'll be doing very soon. So I'll stick with this for a few moments, get this job finished, and I'll pick you up ASAP. There we go, cultivating done, weeds be gone, so this field is now ready for a liming. So let's get back to the farm and get the relevant equipment hooked up. Now I don't know what it is, in my mind anyway. I've never been one of these, I don't really have much of an analytical mind as such, so I've never really spent too much time analysing the rate and the amount that products get used in the game and all that kind of stuff. But my mind has always told me that liming is a super expensive job, but it's not that bad, is it really? It's I know, because it's like, in comparison to fertilizer, it costs considerably less. It's about £450 for 1,000 litres, isn't it, roughly, if I remember correctly. Admittedly, yes, lime does get used quicker than fertilizer, but it's not that expensive. Now I've got the lime tank here, and this is a lime tank that I have to fill up when it gets emptied. It holds, where are we, 60,000 litres, and if my mind remembers correctly back to when I was setting this map up and I filled this up at the very beginning, I think it cost just less than 15 grand to fill it up. Now of course we've got big fields, we are going to use a lot of lime, I appreciate that, but I'm hoping it's not going to be too expensive. What are we at the minute? We've got 142,336 quid in the bank, so I'll keep an eye on that and see what it costs us to get the fields that we're going to do done. I'm going to, like I said before, we're going to lime field 4, we're going to lime field 10 here, the one we've just been in, and I'm going to manually do field 5, just because Courseplay won't, I don't think I'm going to be able to get Courseplay just to capture that little bit on its own, so I'll just do that bit myself, as it were, and get that done. But yeah, time to get started. Now what do I want? I want the Massey, don't I? I'm going to use this one for this job, so we'll shift this out of the way, give ourselves a bit of room. The Fendt and the cultivator need a good clean off, but I'm not going to bother about cleaning the Fendt at the minute, just purely because we're going to be using that to hopefully in this episode get our first seed into the ground. I hope that's going to be the case anyway. We're going to be concentrating on getting some linseed into the ground in the field in front of us, so fingers crossed we can get that done. Another thing I actually wanted to address very quickly, one of the comments I've kind of received the most of since starting this series from a lot of you is regarding collisions and removing buildings and collisions. There's been reports of collisions over here on this farm area. When you remove some of the buildings, there seems to be collisions remaining, and also over at the cow barn. If you were to remove the existing cow barn from the base Calmsden map, there seems to be some invisible walls that some of you are running into, no pun intended. But the solution that I think might work for all of you, if you're on PC of course that is the Map Objects Hider mod by Akimobile. I'm pretty sure, I haven't actually tested this, so forgive me if it doesn't work, but it's just something that went into my mind before. Yeah, try using the Map Objects Hider mod. Even if you've deleted the building, walk up to where your collision is occurring and use the Map Objects Hider mod to try and remove the existing collision. I think that should work for you all. Possibly. Like I said, if you're on PC, of course, that is. So, just wanted to touch base on that, because like I say, it's a comment that I've received more often than not from quite a few of you since the release of Calmsden and having the capacity to do quite a lot of customization. Right, so, yep, let's get our first hopper full. Now, I do have, on my Bredel lime spreader here, I've not got the massive spreading width. I think it's the smaller of the two, so I think it's about 12 metres. And but I do have the extension, so it holds 18,950 litres. So, we'll see how far this takes us. In my usual fashion, I'll throw a bit of music behind this job. We'll get that field done over there, and the field 10, the one we've just been in the Fendt, and I think I'll get this half of this field done. I must admit, I'm quite grateful that I've noticed that, because liming this big field in front of us here is a massive task in it, let's be honest. So I am very grateful that I don't have to do all of it just yet anyway. So let's pull that back. Oh, I must admit, this Massey is showing signs of struggling under this weight. It should be alright. Yeah. Oh, I don't know, actually. I might have to change the approach with this one, mightn't I? Thinking about it. Yeah, I think it's better to be safe than sorry. We'll have to stick with the Fendt, I think. It does seem to... It really did feel like it was struggling there, so... maybe the JCB might handle it, but I think for the purposes of getting the job done without running into too many obstacles and having to chop and change halfway through the job, I think the best thing to do is just stick with what we know, and I know that the Fendt has got more than enough power to do the job. So, let's get this done. In fact, what I think I might do, just to be safe, and I've gone and parked the JCB right in front of the petrol tank as well, haven't I? Goodness me. Right, let me faff around here, ladies and gentlemen, very quickly. I'll get the Fendt fueled up, just make sure it's got enough. It probably has got enough to do the job, to be fair, but just makes sense just to fill it up while we're here. So, I'll pick you up in a moment or two's time when we're in the field. Right, there we are. I must admit, though, even this thing does struggle with the weight. I mean, we've got a lot of mass behind us, let's be honest, but the masses just seem to struggle more than I expected then. So, like I said, we'll stick with the Fendt. This has got the oomph to do just about everything we need it to do on the farm. At least we've got something that can handle everything, eh? Right, so I'll stick a bit of tunes behind this job. We'll get these fields lined, and I'll pick you up in a wee while's time. Right, there we go. Job done, and a big job that was. Now, in total, we have used, including the lime tank that we had already sitting there from the beginning of the series, the amount of money that it's cost us for the lime that we've used is just, give or take a bit, about 40 grand. That's what we spent. I had to top up the tank twice. It wasn't exactly empty, but there wasn't enough left in the tank each time to put anything of any substance back into this. So give or take a bit, it's been about 40 grand in cost there. So, and we've used in total 146,566 litres. We've got just over 5,000 litres left in the Bredel here, 5,034 to be precise. So, and that was just doing that field, half of this, or just less than half of this field, which I am very grateful for not having to do that eastern half over there, obviously jumping into the map PDA. This section here is 10 acres less in size, in area, than field 4 here, so that would have been a massive increase in that lime usage for sure. But nonetheless, it's all done. Field 10, 5 and 6 and 4 are now all done and ready to be drilled. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We've got to stick with the Fendt, of course, still, because the Bredel requires a decent amount of power. It's a heavy thing. So we're going to be sticking with this beast for now. So let's get back to the farm and get loading up with some seed, some solid fertilizer into the drill. And get planting some linseed, eh? Right, let's get this wee beastie loaded up with seed and fert. I've got 2 pallets, one on top of the other here, so I'm hoping they're not going to do what wrapped bales tend to try and do and wander off from each other. It looks like that top one seems to want to. Let's just tilt that back as best as possible. Go on, slide back a bit. So let's carefully get ourselves out of here. We've got the lids open, ready. We've got 2,000 litres on the pallets here, so I actually need to go around the other side as well, don't I? There we are. Now, these pallets don't actually tip into the seeder here. I appreciate that. So, what I'm going to need to do is just pull this thing up somewhere near, and hopefully it should just start taking in. There we go. Now, the seeder, I believe, takes about 5,000 litres of seed, so we'll go and get a couple more of these. Oh no, there we are. Where are we? 2,100. My number's all wrong, completely wrong there. Yeah, 2,400 litres of seeds the seeder takes, forgive me. Ladies and gentlemen, I got the numbers wrong. But, right, let's get the times roughly about right. Looks okay-ish, although I am a little bit too far over to the left there. I should just be able to dive right in there. Let's have that. Please don't pull anything else out. Oh, oh dear. That's not gone well, has it? How's that managed to stick there? Right, there we go. Let's just spin that round. Get it tilted the right way up, please. Goodness me. Right, let's try that one again, shall we? Place that down there. There we go. That's better. There we go. Right. Get there in the end. And now for the solid fertilizer. Now this stuff does obviously tip in straight out the bag. The solid fert section being towards the rear, the slightly larger of the two. So I should be able to just pull over nicely about there. Let's extend the boom out a bit. A bit more. There we are. That's got us going, I think. From the one at least. A bit more. There we are, that's better. Get there eventually. Right, okay, so loading up now. I'll get all this finished off and I'll see you back at the field. All sorted, full of seed, full of fertilizer. We've got Linseed selected, so let's get this done now. Using course play, of course, as I will do with this, we need to start with the centre up and down rows first, not the headlands. So I haven't plotted the course yet, so I'm not exactly sure whereabouts that's going to start us. But needless to say, we're running the up and down rows first. So, much like before, we'll crack on with this one, throw a bit of music behind it, and I'll see you when the linseed is in the ground. There we go, ladies and gentlemen, the first seeds. Our linseed is in the ground. Or is it? A little bit into that job, I kind of noticed, if I jump into the map PDA, that's where I started questioning things. Right, so up here, as you can see now, I'm in the growth menu. That should be some kind of very light green, if I'm not mistaken. But sure enough, it's not. But if we look at the data in the little box in the bottom right hand corner there, it does say crop type linseed. It says growing. We've got a yield bonus at the minute of 72%. It's 50% fertilizer. It needs rolling. It's at growth stage 1 of 8. And we've got some weeds growing. So, again, so I'm kind of hoping that it's just a visual thing in the PDA. If I go to the crop list, linseed down there itself, again, that if I remove that, you'd expect to see a colour change, and there's no colour change there either. So I'm just hoping. I think I remember that one being like a lilac-y purpley colour on the map PDA back in 22, I think. But I'm going to hold out hope that it is just a visual thing, because the data does say things there. So hopefully when growth stage 2 starts coming about and we see something germinate out the ground, I'll have a little bit more confidence about it, I suppose. But for now, I suppose I'm just going to hope that everything's worked. Now, that was a couple of refills. It's taken quite a bit of seed, quite a bit of solid fertilizer, but the job is done. There's that glitch again. I've had this quite a few times. I don't know if anyone else has experienced that, but obviously there's my character in cab. Course play's not switched on, auto drive isn't on, I'm here. It's got something to do with course play or auto drive, one of the two. But yeah, I've experienced that a few times now in 25 and a host of times back in 22. But hey ho, it's no problem. But there we go. So, like I said, hopefully, fingers crossed, touch wood, the linseed is actually in the ground, but our first seeds have been sown nonetheless. So very happy with that, and that's taken us quite nicely to the end of the day. It's 5:15, so it was a very big job, let's be honest, but it's nice to get the big ones done out of the way, and then we can concentrate on some of the slightly smaller ones. So, yeah, all good. So for this episode, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to call it here. Thank you very much for watching. I really do hope you have enjoyed the video and found it a little bit of fun and a little bit interesting. As always, if you're new to the channel and you like my content, you like the way I'm doing things, please consider hitting that subscribe button and jumping on board, joining the channel. Please give the video a like if you can. It does do wonders. It helps the YouTube algorithm do its thing. And as always, there are a host of links in the video description below with my Giants Partner promo code. If any of you are in the market for purchasing Farming Simulator 25 and you like the idea of supporting the channel and helping out a creator, as always, I would be massively appreciative. And of course, if any of you are in the market for an online server to play with your mates, and again, you like the idea of supporting the channel and helping out a creator, please consider using my G-Portal affiliate link, which again will be in the video description below. Again, any help and support there would be massively appreciated. So thank you again for your time, everybody. Take care, and I'll see you in the next episode.